Okay, guys. So good morning, everybody. I'm Daphne, and when I got this invitation, I thought, well, what am I going to talk about? Well, my thing is books. Guess what? I have over 15 years experience working in EFT publishers, and throughout my career, I found out that I know about course books. I like them, I collect them, I work with them, and I've recently prepared a presentation on um, how to choose course books. This is usually something that teachers expect from publishers, from commercial presentations, but I decided to do something a little bit neutral. So one of the things I did, I went to a nearby bookstore in Sao Paulo, not specialized in ELT or languages, and I took this picture and I counted how many different course books were in this picture, in this 12 shelves of a huge bookstore. Just in those shelves alone, we found 114 different course books. 29 of them were for kids, 40 of them were for teens, and 45 for adults. So imagine how hard it is to choose from like 114. Let's say that you're choosing from adults. You have 45 choices, different choices, and those are not all the ones that are in the market. So imagine going to a specialized bookstore. You have many more. So choosing a course book is not easy. Okay, so once you do it, you better stick with it. So look at this. I came across this when I was very young, and a month ago, when I got invited to this event, that book changed my life. This is Daniel Panac, and he wrote it. He's a French author. He was born in Casablanca, Morocco. And he wrote this book called The Rights of the Reader. There are different versions of this book. It was previously translated as Better Than Life, I think. But this is a better translation of this. Daniel, he's a teacher, he's a parent, and he writes a book about his experiences in the joys of reading, how he became, what gets in the way of the pleasure of reading a book, okay? And I'm going to make the connection of Daniel Penak's The Rights of the Reader to The Rights of the Teacher that I kind of adapted. So Daniel wrote the right 10 rights. The first one is amazing. The first one, he said, you have the right not to read a book. You have the right to skip. You don't have to read everything that is in the book. You have the right to finish a book or not to finish a book. Okay. Raise your hand if you've never been. I'm not going to see you raising your hand, obviously, but raise your hand if you've never been in like reading a book and said, oh my God, I have to finish. Really? No. Okay. If you don't finish, like go to the next one. Having to finish a book is gets in the way of the pleasure of reading, extensive reading. You have the right to read it again, okay, your favorite book, or to read anything you want. That's the fifth right, okay? The right to mistake a book for real life. That's amazing. Who hasn't here? Okay, how many people want to be Harry Potter? Okay, kids. No, me. I'm kidding, okay? How many people have the right to read anywhere? He tells an amazing story about a guy who read in the bathroom while he was supposed to be cleaning the bathroom. The right to dip in, the right to browse, the right to read out loud a book, okay, if you want it. Okay, sometimes I do that when the book is really good. You read like parts of it just to yourself because you want to hear the sound of the words, okay? And the right to be quiet. So what I did is I adapted some of these rights to be the rights of the teacher, okay? By the way, this is still Danielle Panac. The rights of the teacher regarding course books. So let's do this. The first one is you have the right not to use a course book. Guys, you don't have to use. By the way, I admire teachers who don't use course books. We could go over like a whole day discussing pros and cons of course books. If you don't want to use a course book just because everybody else is, you don't have to use a course book. You can plan your lessons. Teachers know better. Okay, so you have the right not to use a course book. You have the right to skip. And this is, to me, is one of the most interesting ones because a lot of the questions I get is, okay, but the book is too much. Can I skip? Of course you can. You're the teacher. The teacher has the control. The teacher has the knowledge. Bruna mentioned that. We know better. And yes, you can skip. You need to negotiate with, especially with your adult teachers, and plan your lessons. But you have the right to skip activities that don't work, obviously, okay? Also, you have the right to like it a book or not. You have the right to hate the book. Sometimes no, well, almost every day I go into discussions. I follow discussions of people saying which books they prefer, which books they should use. And it's unbelievable how many different books people talk about. There's not one book that everybody likes. And you don't have to use the book. And you can hate it. You can try the book and say, that book doesn't work for my class. Obviously, it's your choice. You have the right to like a book or hate a book. You don't have to use it just because everybody else is using it. And you have the right to use it again or never, okay? We have the right to make mistakes when we choose course books, because the best way to use and to analyze a course book is to make sure is to use it. You can analyze, you can read the whole book, you can analyze the activities, but once you use it, you say, that was not what I was expecting, and that's okay. You can, choose never to use it again, or again and again and again. And it's interesting because there are some books, I'm not going to mention any books if you're expecting me to drop names here, no publishers, no books today. It's just course books in general. There are books that have been around for a very, very long time and people still like it. Don't judge those people, okay? They're using it for a reason. Some of them are lazy, they have all their lessons planned, but some of them really feel comfortable and like the book, and that's okay. Okay, it's their choice to use the course book again or not. Another one is the right to change it. In fact, you have the obligation to change it. No book will fit 100% of your class, of your students' needs. So you have the right to change the activities you want to make them fit your classroom, okay? So you want to talk about, I don't know, there's a picture of Michael Jackson, okay? And Michael Jackson, he's still alive in the book. You have to change it. And it's okay, books get old, books get outdated. You have the right to change it, okay? And you have the right to use anything, anywhere, okay? If you want to use it, okay? Anywhere in any classroom. You can use the book wherever you want, okay? And the right to share. That's the one I think is the one that I see the most in social media, okay? The right to share whatever you think about it, wherever you feel about the book. And this, to me, is one of the key points about it's one of the key points about, can you guys see me again? I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Okay. It is one of the points that are about this presentation and about BRAZ TESOL. I see a lot of people asking for help, asking for opinions. What books should I use? You would think that it's so easy to choose a book and to see, oh, okay, I just go to a bookstore and choose the ones I like. So many good choices. Most books are good today. They have their differences, they have their authors in mind, they have whatever ideas they want to put out there, but they're all good resources, okay? And you have the right to share your opinions and respect the other opinions. You have the obligation to do that, okay? But I have to say something that I heard in a BRAZ discussion that is very interesting. When we choose a book, we usually have to try to choose a book for the student or its students. And in fact, you have to choose a book for you that gives you the resources to attend your students. And you have to share those opinions. You have the right to share whatever are your reasons to choose, whatever your reasons are to choose that book. Okay, I can see the time. It's very unnerving. Okay, I only have 1 minute, but I hope I made my point. Okay, to this, and I hope I shared something. I hope to make this a bigger, maybe a blog, maybe a presentation on, and develop a bill of rights of the teacher when using course books. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I made it fun. It was very unnerving. Hi, Rob.